Okay, I'm back. The interviews in Taos were amazing. Oh my gosh. It's such a gathering place for such eclectic people. Idealists. I mean, real idealists. It's some people may not agree with their politics or their perception of the world, but by golly, you gotta say something for their commitment to their dreams. And I found it to be extremely refreshing to hear, especially millennials and younger people, express their dreams and their hopes, and they're very, very idealistic. The first girl I did, her name was Jessica. She was from South Jordan, Utah, West Jordan, Utah, and very idealistic. It wasn't a very good recording. I was out in the wind. I didn't have wind things on my iPhone. I don't know that you can get them, but I imagine you can. I'm having a devil of a time with external mics. Anyway, she was very refreshing. She was so fun and happy, and the fact that she was from Utah and was there in Taos, I just felt like that was someone I needed to talk to, even though it was really windy and everything. I really tried to cut down the wind noise, and I took out my voice sometimes to type in the questions on the screen. And anyway, she was really good, very practical, and still very optimistic and wanting to make sure that she was able to have a sustainable lifestyle and was able to live also a little bit in comfort, and this was my impression. Anyway, that was Jessica. And then I talked to a girl named Lelia, who was from Brazil, and she was amazing. She's only going to be there for 4 days. I went out onto this work site where I found them. They were just starting a Earthship. It was only 3 days into it, and they already had, the tires were about anywhere 5 to 7 tires high in places. And those tires, they weigh about 300 pounds once they're filled with dirt. So they fill them up with dirt right where they are, right where they put them. Very, very labor intensive. But they last forever. The guy who started them said that they should last 1,000 years when you build them, because they're not going anywhere, and tires don't decompose, and that's one of their problems, and that's where he kind of got his inspiration for using tires as bricks. And anyway, I talked to this gal from Brazil, and she's an architect, and her deal was about going into native areas in the Amazon and make them help them maintain sustainable lifestyles while still having reverence and respecting their native cultures, and spoke really good English. It was the first time, I believe, in the United States, and so she knew English really well. And I think you'll like Lelia's interview when I get a chance to upload it. Hopefully it's faster down here. The next one I spoke with would have been a gentleman named Adam, who was really progressive, very confident in himself and in his perspective. And I've gotten some feedback from about 3 or 4 different sources who've already watched that one. It was one of the 3 that I've gotten up while I was there, out of the 5 or 6 that I did, and a lot of positive comment on it. I imagine the people that don't agree are not going to say anything, or not. They'll do what they do. But anyway, very academic, but yet very sincere and from the heart. It seemed like. So if you want to challenge what you're thinking about society, you might want to listen to Adams. And then there was the hostess at the visitor center. Her name was Meredith, and she was really idealistic, very full of energy. She was a pretty girl too, which I guess is why they made her hostess there. Anyway, but she's very knowledgeable, and it was fun to listen to her talk about her dream about going back to her homeland in the Bahamas and helping the people out there and doing recycling and stuff like that. And it was really interesting to hear her talk about her advice was to follow your heart, and even young children the same thing, which was what Lexi kind of said, you know, the heart never lies, stuff like that. And there have been about 4 others that have talked about your heart, which I think is really interesting. I think I agree with it. You know. Then after that, I did Lucas, and I knew Lucas from 4 years ago here in Taos, and he is a great guy. The guy's absolutely brilliant. You put a hammer or a measuring tape or any carpentry tool in his hand, and my goodness, he just has this gift of doing that. And he's going to retire at 40 years old, and he and his wife have some big dreams, and my sense is they're going to have it happen, because I watched them in action over, 4 years ago. He was phenomenal then, and now he's out here working on a dig with one of the people here. They have about 40 people out there working on this dig, and it's a big crew, so it's kind of fun to watch this come together, especially those very beginning stages. I think that was 4 or 5. That was 5. And then the last one was my landlady, Alice, who was Airbnb, very affordable, or I wouldn't have done it. And she took me to, so like I said in the last thing, she took me to a committee thing, what's it called? I don't know, I can't think of it. Anyway, improvisation class, and then she was a yoga instructor, and she showed me how, it was fun to have an individualized yoga instructor, and she didn't charge me hardly anything for a whole hour of an intensive yoga thing that kind of went along with being the guest in her other bedroom. And I met her boyfriend Ken, and it was fun to see the different people there. Anyway, and she gave some really good advice too. Again, she talked about the heart, and talked about how Taos was kind of the place that changed her focus on her dreams. So those were the interviews in New Mexico, in Taos, New Mexico. Let's see what I find in Los Alamos and in Santa Fe. Alrighty, that's it. We'll see you later, and love you guys. Oh, by the way, if you're watching, Jasmine, thank you for the kombucha. I'm using it right now.